Welcome to the show that do-it-yourselfers built. We've searched up and down, high and low, and all around, looking for the best builds from across the globe. Get ready to rock with a custom cement side table and roll with a modern tiny house on wheels. Then, log off social media and get your log cabin fix on. Let's make some great projects together. On Best Builds Countdown. We've got a strong contender here, building with one of the strongest materials around, concrete. At number 20, making a concrete countertop is a more challenging project, but this guy demonstrates how to do it with ease. He even adds decorative emblems just to show off. First, he makes a sturdy wooden support frame. Next, he mixed 1 bag of mortar mix with 5 quarts of water and added a small bag of flow control, which increases the fluidity of rapid set concrete mixtures. Before pouring the cement, he centers an emblem on the bottom because that'll actually become the top of the concrete slab. After he smooths out and levels the surface, some light tapping on the frame helps get rid of any bubbles. Next, he places another emblem on top, waits, then removes it, which creates a cool stamp. Finally, the freshly placed cement is cured with a fine water mist, and when hardened, he takes it out of its mold and sands it smooth.
This is like a custom job. It's very easy to do, and it cost me $100.
Our next build hopes to be as strong as concrete. It's a substantial safety gate built to keep big dogs downstairs. In order to mimic the design of the staircase handrail, this handyman chooses dimensional lumber and rebar. The main tool used in this project is a miter saw for its superior angled cuts. For the outer frame, he cuts down 4x4s, then measures the internal structure for rebar placement. Since the staircase has a two-tone color scheme, the 4x4s are stained before assembly, and everything else gets a clear coat in the end. After the rebar is cut to size and the internal grid is made, he installs it into the frame. Lastly, our dog lover adds a clear coat and this pet project is done. The countdown continues with custom countertops. This woodworking warrior covered up these topless built-ins in just 2 days. First, he cuts a couple 10-foot boards and sends them through a planer to achieve even thickness. Pocket holes come next, and for those learning as we go, it's important to make sure everything is secure and tight before drilling in the screws. Once he places the boards on the built-ins, he marks out a couple of notches, then cuts them to fit around the rock. Next, our handicrafter removes the countertops to sand them before grabbing a router to smooth out the edges. He chooses a coffee color stain followed by a polyurethane finish. And finally, he secures the countertops to their base from the underside. These look rich, but they only cost about $50 to build. With minimal tools and maximum effort, this dedicated DIYer proves that you don't need to get all fancy to land on our Best Builds Countdown. When she decides she needs more storage space, she did it herself using basic materials, simple techniques, and no pro tools. First, she measured the area under her stairs and used a jigsaw to cut the wood into desired shapes and sizes. Next, it's hammer time as she secures the wood pieces to the floor and wall. With brackets put in place, this hard worker continues construction on the walk-in storage area. Next up, the shelving, a task made easier with 2 people, but look at her go solo. When the last nail was in, the sanding begins. Finally, it's showtime. Give her a round of applause for her handy-dandy work. Landing in our Sweet 16 spot is a desktop with a sweet spot to charge your mobile phone. This inventive builder glues walnut wood in 2 separate sections and sends them both through a planer. Next, he used a domino joiner to join them together. After being sanded, a plywood template helped map out a sweeping curve for the front end. He grabs a jigsaw for that. He reattaches the template with double-sided tape and pops in a flush trim bit to remove the rest of the waste, followed by the install of a chamfer bit to create an under bevel. Then he slathers it up with hard wax oil. For the wireless feature, he drills a hole to his desired depth and location, then uses the world's daintiest drill bit to make a pinhole into the top of the desk. Once the charger is plugged in, you can even see the tiny light shining through, so you can keep track of the charge. Our buddy Matt here constructed a concrete tabletop with a walnut base. To begin, a form to cast the concrete in was created using melamine board cut into a 20-inch round disc and surrounding it with PVC base molding cut to 1/4 inch. Using a heat gun to soften the PVC will work wonders. He then mixed water with white concrete countertop mix and a package of bright white pigment for an extra pop of crisp, clean color. Now for the pour, followed by a vibrating tool to remove all air bubbles. 48 hours later, he demolds the cement disc. For the base, he cuts black walnut wood to size. Then watch closely as these shapely legs come to life using a variety of techniques. Next, he attaches the base to the top. Wow! It's hard to believe that this was Matt's first concrete project. The expertise behind this next DIY creation is awe-inspiring. It's almost like a work of art. Mayuko here made this ornate wooden bowl from segmented wood turning, which is the method of gluing together several individual pieces of wood before starting the turning process. For this one, Mayuko used rosewood, pine, and trembesi woods. Once attached, he sent it through a planer to achieve desired thickness. Now get ready to be mesmerized by the wood turning process shown here using a lathe, which is a machine that allows wood to be turned on its axis at high RPMs in order to create a variety of forms. The only limit is the imagination of the artist. To create a bowl, he glues on additional wood chunks, and the turning process continues. He utilizes several different shaping tools as well as sanding pads. And later, beeswax to seal and shine. And here it is, a unique handcrafted design by a true artist. Coming in at lucky number 13 on our countdown list, here's a quick look at a dining area build that goes from barren and bland to plentiful and grand, all by adding a board and batten wall feature. To complete the look, the homeowners invest in a tropical-inspired dining set and rug. Now, while we can't help you find your purpose in life, we can show you how to create a multi-purpose coffee table. To begin, this craftsman builds the frame. Like most wood projects, he glues up before nailing down. Next, he takes his time, sanding everything smoothly. And now, this coffee table is ready to be stained by something other than coffee. To further beautify, he attaches rustic hinges and some quirky and versatile hairpin legs. Gotta love that storage area. The perfect spot to store those books on finding your purpose. Coming in at number 11 is a great find indeed. Ever heard the saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure? This century-old cabinet is far from trash, even though it is a bit beat up. To refurbish this oldie but goodie, all of the broken and damaged pieces are first removed. This was a lengthy process considering that all of the pieces were damaged and broken. So why not just build a new cabinet and send this to the fireplace? Good question. Because of its stained glass doors, this cabinet captain thinks this piece is from the Art Nouveau period of the early 1900s, which is reason enough to refurbish it. After a lot of TLC, which included sanding, patchwork, and applying new wood, this historic piece was about to get a facelift. Some staining gave it a fresh new look, followed by a generous coat of shellac. Updated green glass is installed, and the restored handles are put back in place. Whoa, looks incredible and certainly not old. Ah, the great outdoors. You can almost smell the fresh air and feel those mosquito kisses in this time-lapse footage of a complete cabin build. Before any of us get cabin cozy, the area is cleared and prepped for the foundation. Cement is then poured and wood flooring is laid down just before the walls go up. A second floor is added. The builders raise the roof, minus the loud music and dancing. We're getting closer and closer to the reveal with the installation of the windows and the door. Finally, the wood siding gives it that iconic log cabin feel. Do you remember what it looked like before? It's amazing what a little lumber and a big vision can accomplish. If you recognize this guy, it's because Matt made our list earlier in the show at number 15 with a concrete and walnut side table. Here he is again with another countdown-worthy build. This media console has all the bells and whistles, including cabinets with custom-made molding and fancy hardware. A ton of wood is needed for this project. Not quite a forest, but close. For assembly of the doors and side panels, Matt used the traditional tongue and groove construction, which means no fasteners. Now Matt secures the just glued frame with clamps. The top is made from walnut and later covered in a hard wax oil finish. Now through the magic of television, here's the amazing final result. Keep doing it yourself, Matt, because you're doing it right. Making a huge impact on our countdown is this tiny house. To begin this not-so-tiny project, a wheeled trailer is secured to the ground while the wood foundation was laid out. Followed by the install of wall frames. After it was all boarded up, these busy bees turned their attention to the roof. Next up, they put in several windows and then spray the interior with insulation before installing wood flooring everywhere. We're loving the trendy addition of Shiplap walls, which gives this small space a cozy, cool feel. Their plans include a large deck outside surrounded by a white picket fence. For curb appeal, they add some eye-catching landscaping, followed by some final touches inside. Amazing! That's one home sweet tiny home. On our number 7 spot on the countdown, ever dream about adding on to your home but don't think you'll have the time? We're here to get you out of that mindset and help you make the time. Like this couple who built 2 extra rooms in just 30 seconds. Okay. In real time, it may take a bit longer than that, but with a little determination and a lot of coffee, you too can do it yourself. And as an added bonus, you'll add tremendous value to your home. So get started, the clock is ticking. At number 6, if you've been toying with the idea of building a playhouse for your kids, this one might inspire you, and it's pocketbook friendly. After filling holes for footers with concrete, this DIY dad added sturdy 6x6 beams. Decking was next on the to-do list. Once everything was done down below, work began on the upper deck. He frames up the door and windows with 2x4s, and then uses plywood to board it all up. Now for the heavy-duty swing support. Wait, did we mention the swing set? Yep, Dad of the Year right here. Time to beautify. Since plywood soaks up paint, primer is a must. Using your daughter to help paint is also helpful. And before you know it, the work is done and it's playtime. And if it can hold up to Dad's weight, it's a solid, good build. Next up, the top 5, including a quick DIY backyard pizza oven that can't be topped. It's all coming your way. Welcome back to Best Builds Countdown. We have arrived at the final 5. But before we reveal the best of the best, let's take a look back at the rest. Earlier in this episode, a modern desk with a built-in wireless charger created quite a buzz. Then, a bowl made from wood turning impressed us with its artistry. After that, we showed you how a tiny house could make a big impact. And finally, a complete cabin build inspired us to get outside. Now it's time to hammer out our top 5 builds. Let's go! While saving money is probably the main reason people decide to do things themselves, it's also so darn rewarding. This next budget build turned a neglected backyard corner into a great space for a storage shed and garbage bins. To get started, this DIYer completely cleared the area, which included a retaining wall and a satellite dish. Then, he secures 4 wooden posts in place using quick-set cement. Next, he preps for pavers by laying down a paver-based sand. He then arranges paver stones in a pattern of his choice. For the shed, a frame was built, then several odd angles were cut using a circular saw. All that's left was a door, roof, and cedar fence picket siding. Look at that! This area went from drab to fab without breaking the bank. Any couples out there? Here's a way to heat up your relationship. Build a Shiplap fireplace and watch how quickly things sizzle. First, our constructor maps out an outline for wall placement. Then, he uses a stud finder before he nails in the wood planks.
Alright guys, so we have the 4 anchors up and ready to go. Now we just need to cut the 2x4s to length and build the skeleton and then put it up.
After giving us a demo of the process, our builder returns with more.
And then the next step after this is to build the, and that's what we're going to be doing now, front frame.
With the help of his wife, this duo nails it to the wall structure. Are you ready for the fireplace install? Because we are. For more wow factor, they install that ever-popular shiplap and a center TV mount.
Including the TV, it's about $500 roughly. The fireplace cost us roughly $300, and then all the other supplies cost us roughly $200.
The end result was amazing and affordable. Coming in hot on the countdown, building a pizza oven doesn't have to be a pie in the sky. You can enjoy a slice of heaven right in your own backyard. This brick builder aligns large cut stones and throws in some wood for a homemade wood-fired pizza that's sure to top any pizza delivery. Now, if you're looking to spice things up in the bedroom this weekend, why not make a board and batten herringbone accent wall? All it takes is a trip to the lumber store, a few measurements, some nails, and paint to create a beautiful backdrop that's sure to please your partner. Sitting pretty high atop the countdown are these colorful credenzas with sliding doors. To create these masterpieces, a lot of wood was cut to size. Seriously, a lot of wood. Our wood crafter glues up the pieces and fits them together. A planer was used to reach the desired dimensions. Then, the first cabinet frame is built and painted black. For contrast, the second one is painted white. Pattern plywood sliding doors are created off camera, then magically put into place and tested by the builder. White credenza or black credenza? We'll let you choose. Or why not just both? There you have it. 20 great examples of what you can do with your own two hands when you have one goal in mind. We hope you feel inspired to take on a do-it-yourself project. Who knows, you could end up on the next edition of Best Builds Countdown.